morning, Tobago on Tobago Updates. And of course, viewers, it is International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to all of you women out there. And in this first segment, it is my pleasure introduce to you, well, both online. First start with online. Her Excellency Miss Harriet Cross, and of course, she is the British High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago. She's joining us online, and in studio, I have with me Miss Shenel Brathwaite, and she is a farmer and owner of Peb's Prosperous Hands, and we're going to get into that. So, first of all, good morning and welcome to you both, ladies, and happy International Women's Day.
Good morning. It's a real pleasure to be on your show. Good morning, Tobago.
And good morning to you, of course, Shenel.
Good morning. It's a pleasure being here as well.
And to our High Commissioner, I just want to give you just a minute to give our International Women's Day greetings for this year, 2024.
Thank you so much. I've been in Trinidad and Tobago now for over 3 years, and I have been blown away by the energy of the women in Trinidad and Tobago. You really kick ass. You are present in business. You are present in commerce at some of the highest levels of government, and I think you're a real kind of motor for economic development in Trinidad and Tobago, and that really gives me hope for a really bright future for the country. And I think when partnerships can happen between foreign governments and between your own government, between NGOs, and between businesses and commerce within the country, I think really amazing things can happen. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what 2024 is going to bring as a result of some of the projects that we've started in both Trinidad and Tobago, and also some of the relationships that we've helped develop, because there are now some really interesting ideas being generated because of the expertise that women are developing themselves, and the ideas that they are bringing through their own businesses and their own initiative to changing Trinidad and Tobago for the better.
And it's been amazing to have a woman like yourself at the helm of the British High Commission, and you're such a wonderful person to interact with. And we certainly appreciate your interest here in Tobago and so on. But I also want to welcome online Miss Jayme Hoyte, and she is the co-founder of Women of Substance. So good morning and welcome to you, and happy International Women's Day. Okay, I don't think we're hearing you, Miss Hoyte, this morning just as yet. So I'm not sure if you are.
Yes, sorry, I was muted. Thank you so very much for the introduction, and a happy International Women's Day to all the women of Trinidad and Tobago. A slight correction I want to make. We are from Women-Owned Media and Education Network, Women.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Now, so we're here this morning, of course, speaking about International Women's Day, which is today, but we're also speaking about this Grow Smart initiative that is funded and supported by the UK Embassy. So, first of all, Ms. Harriet Cross, give us an idea, a little overview of this project.
Yeah, so we have worked before with the NGO that Jayme is representing this morning, known as Women, and they have done some really incredible things to empower women, particularly women who are, for example, survivors of domestic violence, people who don't necessarily have a lot of power within society. And we loved the fact that they were bringing these women into the spotlight and their expertise and allowing them to participate and contribute. So when they came to us with an idea called Grow Smart, where they wanted to bring these women into the agricultural sphere and increase their expertise, contribute to making Trinidad and Tobago more self-sufficient in terms of agriculture and food and produce, we thought it was a fantastic idea. So we went back to London and asked them to find some money. London also thought it was a brilliant idea. So we came back, and the Grow Smart initiative grew from there. One of the things that we were both really keen for, both Jayme and my team, that we wanted Tobago to this. That's partly because there is such brilliant women in Tobago, and we wanted them to help contribute to the success of the project. But it's also that I think the development of the agricultural sector in Tobago is something that's very important to Assembly, for example, but also to the women of Tobago. They want to be part of it. They want to make a difference. They want not only to grow food for their families and support their families, but they want to make the country itself more economically sustainable. And this project was one way of doing that.
And of course, part of that project is Miss Shenel Brathwaite. And tell me a little bit about yourself and your involvement in it.
Good morning. I am Miss Shenel Brathwaite, the owner and founder of Peb's Prosperous Hands. Peb's Prosperous Hands is a local farming business here on the beautiful island of Tobago. At Peb's, we cultivate and harvest a wide range of local seasoning and farm produce. We also create our very own seasoning packs and big flavor butter seasoning. Venturing into this most smart initiative program was an answer to a prayer that I had, and I'll forever be grateful for the opportunity. During the course of the program, I was exposed to a lot. I was introduced to dynamic systems of farming such as hydroponics and aquaponics, and being able to see plants grow and blossom and reach their full stage of harvesting using these types of systems was really an eye-opener for me. It gave me a step into a new direction as to how we can truly add to the development of the agriculture sector on the island of Tobago and even in Trinidad. I saw the program as one being of great benefit, not just to myself, but also to my community and to the island of Tobago, where we can increase production of produce here to be able to sustain the island of Tobago on its as it pertains to itself, and being able to cut back on our import bills and so forth. Yeah, I saw it as a way that we could get some great mass production going, because that's where we are currently falling short as an island.
And certainly, and Miss Hoyte, just give us an idea, what's it been like, working along with the ladies, especially the 10 that were selected in Tobago, and getting them, trained and teaching them the different techniques and so on.
Amazing. It was an amazing experience. And I just want to tack on to what Her Excellency Harriet Cross had mentioned. The program facilitated for 30 women, and out of those 30 women, 10 were selected from Tobago. They learned different strategies, techniques in hydroponics, agroponics, how to get their system set up, the grow bag method, as well as NFTs. And I really want to thank Mr. Rakesh Burkal, who facilitated, our technical facilitator from UWI. And, he did an amazing job in sharing not only the good sides of hydroponic, but also, sharing the negative parts where you can plant a whole a system and, you don't get produce from it. But, he definitely showed how it is, you can provide a solution to those type of issues. But I really found that this program was truly impactful, working with all the women, both Trinidad and Tobago, and we are already seeing the impact of it, being fizzled out in the different, communities. Even the women in Tobago, they are already looking at different programs that they can implement in schools, in their communities, and even amplifying what they are already doing. The good thing about it is that most of the women that we selected had some sort of farming background. And this was important because after the program, we wanted to become a sustainable, that they can not only grow their own foods for themselves, but they can now expand and scale up. Because part of the program, we also had agribusiness attached to it. So not only we showed women how to grow their own food in a sustainable manner, but we also showed them how to develop a business out of it. So most of them now, selling their produce and really expanding and creating impact and sustaining themselves.
Certainly. And Miss Cross, the success of this program so far, are we going to see this continuing? Is there going to be another cohort of women in Trinidad and in Tobago being a part of this?
I very much hope so. We had an event here at the house to a graduation ceremony actually for some of the women, and I won't name names, but there were some senior business women who were at that. Wow, this is a fantastic initiative. I would love to be able to contribute to a future iteration of the program. I don't think we'll struggle actually to find Trinidad and Tobago investors, people who want to be part of the success program. So I've no doubt we'll go from strength to strength. And people like Shenel, who actually were already entrepreneurs, already farmers, but as Jayme has said, we'll be able to scale up further. I'd love to see some of these women farmers and entrepreneurs exporting to Europe, to the US, and to the UK as part of that in future. I think there's a long way to go for this program. I think this is just the start.
Certainly. And Miss Brathwaite, at the end of this program, how are you feeling about your business and about your capabilities now? Where do you see yourself going?
Coming out from this program, as stated before, it really opened my eyes to more as to what more PEPs can truly do. And it has been my heart's desire to be one of Tobago's main agro processor, main farmer, to be able to supply the mass production that is needed on the island. And I was thinking, my hope was always to not just to be able to supply the raw produce, but to use the raw produce to be able to create my very own bagel flavor seasoning, which I am hoping that I would be able to export in the near future. My hope is to take it to the UK borders and to the USA as well. I've already started where my friends and families take it from me whenever they go to my customers. But I want to have an avenue or a market where I can produce mask seasoning packs to be able to go to different parts of the world. I believe in being proud of where I come from, and I always say it's time Tobago be known again as one of the bread baskets of the Caribbean. It's time Tobago be known again on the map for agriculture. I'm seeing where the agriculture sector is dying, and that's where I stepped in and launched out, to create my own agriculture podcast and so forth, just to educate and to include persons so that they become aware of how important agriculture is. Yeah.
So now, what's the next step for the farmers in general that have taken part in this program? Now we heard about the wonderful seasoning, and in my mind, I'm like, where can we get the seasoning? Is there a program even for what has been produced by these farmers to be on the shelves? Or on a specific place so that the public can get to taste for themselves what our farmers had been able to produce.
So if I can contribute here as well, I think since the program, a lot of our female farmers are doing pretty well. They are solid, and they continue to produce, increase their production, and they sell in wholesale, sell in retail. But I'm hoping that we can provide avenues in terms of pop-up markets, in terms of making connections for them to actually sell in larger quantities to wholesalers, in retail stores. This is the hope of the Grow Smart program. But I know individually, each one of them are doing their best, to sustain themselves and to scale up their business. They have learned techniques in agribusiness, and they are applying and implementing. Shenel, for one, she spoke about exporting. I think this is the hope of many of the other women to produce to export, or produce to make bottle season, as Shenel mentioned, and then to export. I think additional program or follow-on program would be to assist women in exporting, the how to demystifying, and navigating the field of exporting products, across the world.
Certainly. And I mean, it's been such an exciting time just to be able to see and to hear from farmers that we wouldn't normally hear from. And I mean, I just want to thank you all for being able to be with us. But before we go, I just want to give you all a chance to just leave us with a few words. So I'm gonna start with Her Excellency Cross first of all, and then Miss Hoyte, and then we come to Shenel in studio.
Thank you. I just want to say it's a real pleasure to be speaking live to Tobago. It is my favourite places in the entire world. So we will continue to support Tobago, continue to partner with the women and indeed the men of Tobago to share expertise, to share the enthusiasm. I mean, this is what I take away from this conversation. This interview has been full of ideas and ambition, and I think that is where Tobago excels. So I'm really excited about what we're going to do in the future. To Shenel and all the other women farmers on this program, I can't wait to see what you do next, because you are going places, and I loved your term that Tobago should be the breadbasket of the Caribbean. I think that is the ambition, and I'm really excited to be part of that. And Jayme, thank you so much for the work that you've done. You've really changed people's lives, and it's really exciting to be part of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. I'd just like to again wish the entire country of Trinidad and Tobago and all the women who participated in the hydroponic program, happy International Women's Day. You all are phenomenal. Keep doing what you're doing. I also want to say happy International Day to my directors, Miss Lucia Cabrera Jones. She's also a driving force on the women team, as well as Regine Fraser, and I just want to encourage women to follow their dreams, follow their passions, and it will lead you where you are supposed to be.
Great, thank you. And Miss Shenel Brathwaite.
I would like to say thank you to women, and thank you to the UK High Commission for this great initiative. I really hope that is not the first and the last cycle of this program. I look forward to seeing many more cycles. As we celebrate Women's International Day, I really just want to say to the women out there who have been working hard to toil the land, with love and passion and care for animals and plants and, crops, to keep going. Yes, I know that it's not always easy. Yes, challenges do arise, but women, we are powerful, we are strong, we are passionate, and we are powerful, and there's nothing that can stop us from achieving what we want to achieve, as long as we are willing and we have that mindset that anything is possible. Continue to launch forth with faith in God, knowing that He would never leave you nor forsake you, and you are the key to your dream. You are the key to your destiny. So continue to push, continue to soar, and continue to be humble, most importantly. Happy Women's International Day.
Certainly. And of course, look out for Peeps' Prosperous Hands out on the shelves.
It's already on the shelf at few locations throughout the island of Tobago. My hope is to get it to the borders of Trinidad soon and be exported to the UK and New York and so forth. Miami, they already got a taste of it. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity once again, women and UK High Commission. Thank you.
Certainly. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I'm looking forward to seeing you, Miss Cross, back in Tobago pretty soon. So I hope you all have a safe and wonderful day. But viewers, don't go anywhere because we have a lot more coming up for you after the break.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new